Howdy folks, this is the third one of Yulay's Oktoberfest Pumpkin Smash, and these come in 2-ounce. That's what it looks like there on the inside. It's pretty soft soap. I've got it whipped up here with a vintage brush. Don't know exactly what the name of this brush is. It's been rubbed off on the bottom. Have a hard time seeing the rest of the name. I think the first letter might be a B. Got it whipped up here in the bowl. Really nice. I mean, you can smell it coming right out of the bowl. Really nice scent. Decided to, especially since it's a little cooler where I'm at, thinking that this might be a good one to follow up with is Yulay's Butter Rum Cappuccino. This one, really like the scent of this one here. Also, as it goes for my beard butter here, I am that close. Almost got it completely empty. Yesterday's shaver, Schick Injector. This one here is a pretty smooth shaver. I wouldn't consider it aggressive at all. It's pretty nice. And let's see here, today's shaver though is a Schick adjustable. And this one here is an outstanding shape. This will be the first time me shaving with it. I've had some of these injectors and have been holding on to them until this month. And this one here, as you can tell, it's a dial adjustable. And see if I can show there. It has the numbers 1 through, yes, that's 1 through 8, and it's on number 1 right now. Hopefully you can see there's a bit of a gap right there, and as you rotate, that's where it adjusts at, is right there. It may be kind of hard to see, but right now this is at its highest setting, and I'm going to start out with the highest setting. And I also got a Schick blade in there. Thought it'd be appropriate, huh? Going to give it a try and see how that works for me. Starting out with the most aggressive and working my way down. Starting with an 8. We'll see how that works for me. Also, I've already put a hot towel to the face, the bloom water. I have my alum block and my Humphreys lilac witch hazel sitting over here ready to go. Got my mug of warm water that I soaked the brush in and warmed the blade up on the shaver there. Guess you might say I'm a little excited. I've, like I said, I've had this one for a moment, and I have been waiting for this month to shave with it. Now this setting of an 8, and I also have a Pella Injector that's an adjustable, but it has 5 settings. It goes from low to high, but there's, of course, settings in between the low and the high, but there's only 5. Now is 5 as aggressive as this 8? Get ready to find out. Smells great. Kind of felt like this was going to be the one that I really did like. Like all 3 of them, but this one here I think is my favorite when it comes to the scent. It didn't take a whole lot of effort to whip it up. It's pretty creamy. I also found that the injectors are pretty easy to, because for me the angle's easy to find. It's easy to buff with. I don't I have yet to find an injector where I get a bad shave with it. I'm not sure this setting here, whether it's the equivalent of the high setting on a PAL adjustable or not. Kind of thinking that the PAL might be a little bit more aggressive, even with five settings. But I guess you might look at it in a different way, in that this, with 8 settings, you can really tune in exactly where you want that aggressiveness at. I have to say, even at an 8, this is still pretty smooth. This shaver here came with a case, which is in pretty good shape also. I was really happy to get this one. Been waiting a long time for one to hit the right price range, because I mean, some of these go upwards anywhere from $70 to $100, and I'm going like, that's not my price range. Let's see how much I took off. Yeah, I took off quite a bit. It was pretty smooth though, even on an 8 setting. That was a pretty smooth pass. That's always gonna, it'll take a little work to get that one, I guess you might say, mowed down. Yeah, it's pretty efficient. Can't complain too much. I mean, I've shaved with some far more aggressive shavers on the highest setting. As well as ones that are not adjustable, that are, you can feel that blade and the aggressiveness of it and how efficient it is. This one here is pretty efficient, and it didn't have what this blade didn't have that edgy blade feel, I guess you might say. It smells wonderful. Really like this series. Yeah, when the lows get down around 50, in some places in the high 40s, kind of does remind you of October as opposed to September. Of course, this weather here lately has been kind of odd. You know what? I think I forgot to change the setting. Sure did. Guess it's not too late. I'm only about almost halfway through. Move to the setting 7. Not that I can tell the difference. It is kind of odd. I was wondering how much, since the setting of, you got 8 adjustable settings, how much of a difference in between a 7 and 8 would there be? Of course, with it being this cool, I've turned the air conditioner off. now I'm going to go ahead and adjust down to 6 before I forget. It is early in the morning here. Yeah, getting quite a bit off. This is it's going to be another good shave. Like I say, I haven't had an injector where I got a bad shave. Now I've had when I first started, when you load the blade, it's not a perfect system in loading the blade. So you do have to pay attention to make sure it didn't get cattywampus in there. And, excuse me, and have that edge right down those two stops. Yeah, because if you're not careful, you'll dull the blade. So you gotta pay attention when you load it up. Like I said, it's not a perfect system, but it's still a pretty good system, especially considering how old this excuse me, when this first came about. I have some more injectors I haven't shaved with just yet. They're different in their own little way. It does make you wonder sometimes what the big difference is. I've got one over here where I know why it's maybe more popular than others, and it's because of the there's a way to get this bottom to come out just a tad bit so that you can go in there and clean it out. That does make a world of difference, as it goes for cleaning. Otherwise it's a bit of a chore. Sure, if you've been watching the weather, out on the East Coast, there's I think what, a total of 3 hurricanes now. This is a good shave. This is a really good shave. I think with the Schick Injector, if you were looking to try to do a quick shave, I think with a Schick Injector it would be pretty easy to do. Especially with an adjustable one. Because you don't necessarily have to have a BBS shave. So you set that put that setting where you want it, get the bulk of your whiskers taken off on the first pass. Yeah, that is pretty close. Some of my trouble spots it even cleaned up pretty easy right there. Guess you might say without having to do any pickups if you were looking to get a really close shave. Yep, that's going to work for me. Got my alum block here with a rubber band. Just got that This spot down here has been acting up. That's the only spot I got stinging, which, like I say, I don't think it has anything to do with the shaver or the blade or anything like that. It's just me. Gonna follow up which hazel, lilac. I've had this soap for a while also, because I read online a while back that she said I think she said that she only had 48 of them, and that number is how much I think she started out with, and then I don't think it's been updated. In other words, that she has 12 left or anything like that. And last year I realized I waited way too late to get the some of the seasonal stuff, like anything dealing with pumpkin, Christmas scents, or anything like that. Waited way too late. In other words, if you're trying to use them within the season, it was well after the season, and I'm still wanting to use it, but it's well after the season, which I still did anyway. That's how I use what I want, when I want, and how I want. Face feels great. This one here, like I said, this is the aftershave from Yulay, and this one here is the Butter Rum Cappuccino, and the doesn't have any alcohol in it. It's but it does have witch hazel, and the most of hers you do have to shake before you use, which seems to be a habit with all the aftershaves I use anyway. This one here, I really like this scent. When I was a kid, one of my favorite candy, especially hard candy, which I like, believe it or not, I like the hard candy more so than I did chocolate. One of the candies that I really liked was butter rum, and it just reminds me so much of that candy that I used to eat when I was a kid. Smells great. I'm going to put some more on. Yeah, with the coolness of the air here lately, it sure does. It's definitely good coffee weather in the mornings. Now starting out at 80 degrees. Great smelling stuff here. Go ahead once again, now that I've got it covered with soap. Schick Injector, adjustable. Finished up on the setting number 6, which is not numbered, it's just the dot in between there. This, when I got this, is in really great shape. Really surprising how nice this is. It's been used, but lightly used. Just a number, that really great shape when I got that one. This here is the Schick Golden 500, and that's what the handle looks like. Now the biggest difference on this one here versus, which this is one like this one here, which this is the, I guess you might say the newest one I have. You kind of see there's no place to pop this loose. Well, with this one here, with this lever, you can pop that up, and you can see how much of it just drops right on out there. So now you've got room to clean in behind there, and push it back up, and there you go. You're ready to load the blade. But at least it gives you room to get in there and clean it up. Why they moved away from anything that resembles this one, I couldn't tell you, because that makes a world of difference in trying to get this thing clean. It's a nice looking shaver too. Here's another one that looks very much similar to it. I think this one here is a J model, and there is a difference in, see if I can hold it here, there is a difference in the handle length. but this one here looks very similar. But yeah, that doesn't drop down so you can clean it. I would almost think, I haven't shaved with this one yet, but I would almost think that this Golden 500 or one that's made like this would be a more popular one to have to shave with, because it'll be easier to clean. Because it's a little tough to try to clean out in there. You have to warm soapy water and soak it in there and swish it around, keep on working with it to get most of that stuff out of there. So if you don't clean it on a regular basis, it gets to be quite a chore. I had a great shave. Hope everybody stays safe. I know the weather is going to be really tough, especially with that one that called Category 6, I believe. That's a pretty strong storm. Smooth shaves to you.